The Toyota RAV4 has been around for about 20 years. It's definitely one of the most popular models Toyota make. I mean, sales in 2014 are predicted to be 20% more than 2013. And why is that? Well, it's obvious Toyota have invested heavily into the new RAV4. They've made changes to its look, they've added a ton of technology, it drives better, it handles better, it's overall a much better car. Now, how do I know that already? I've been driving this car for a few days, and I've got to say, it's good. It's very good. Toyota have released their improved, brand new RAV much sooner than expected. I guess that's because they couldn't wait to show us all what they have in store. The RAV4 Cruiser comes with Toyota's keyless entry. Well, you still get a key, but it's not the key you're used to, it's more of a fob. As long as the key's on your person and with you inside the car, the RAV starts at a push of a button. Now, I know what you're thinking, what if someone is in the car and you're around the car and they try and start it? Well, watch this. No one can have the key and it won't start. Key not detected. How cool is that? The RAV4 Cruiser is the top of the RAV range. It has looks, gear, and a ton of technology, not to mention the safety advances. The 17-inch alloy wheels have been swapped for bigger, bolder 18-inch ones with a bit more rubber on them. And overall exterior styling has been smoothed in some areas and aggressively unleashed in others. The RAV4 Cruiser would have to be one of the most self-aware cars Toyota's ever released. I mean, it comes with a ton of onboard safety. You get blind spot monitoring, lane departure system, reverse camera, and something Toyota call reverse traffic alert system. What does all that mean? Well, I'm about to explain. In the rear corners of the vehicle sits 2 radar sensors that monitor your blind spots on either side of the car. If you flick your indicator on and another car happens to be in the way, a warning light will flash inside your rear view wing mirror. The same works if you're reversing out of a car park and someone drives up behind you. The car will let you know. And if you're on a long drive and start to doze off and drift out of your lane while you're driving, you'll quickly be woken up by an audio alert. This car knows exactly what you're doing and how to prevent you from making a mistake. Now, having driven the RAV4 Cruiser for a couple of days, I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan of the interior layout. It's luxurious, it's simple, but it all works. And I love the dual climate control system and the 6.1-inch colour touch display. It's your gateway to all the Toyota Link, which is the Toyota apps. It also gives you access to your Bluetooth phone, your USB audio devices. You even get updates on what the car is doing, its fuel economy, and where you're doing everything right or wrong. It makes the car luxurious, but very smart. Now, if you're a fan of a decent stereo, the Cruiser model comes with an 11-speaker JBL audio system with digital radio, so you'll never be let down by tinny tunes on long drives ever again. Now, when it comes to the engine, you get a choice of 2. You can choose between a 2.2-litre Commerail turbo diesel or, like we have today, the 2.5-litre petrol engine. And of course, you can choose between automatic and manual, except for when you choose the Cruiser, because Toyota, for the first time ever, have said, if you're going to take the top of the range, you need to take the top of the range automatic with you. And I think they marry together really well. Now, Wayne, I've been driving the standard Cruiser for a couple of months, which I love. It's a great car to drive, but recently getting given the Cruiser to drive, absolutely fantastic. It's just a huge step up.
What you find as you step through the range is that there are a lot of subtle features that come with that as well. Things like the wind deflectors, the noise reduction.
Yeah, there's a few things I've played with. Firstly, the look of the car. I'm noticing that as I'm driving around in this car, it's got the bigger wheels. I love the silver on the black. And I notice a lot more people actually looking at the car thinking, what is that? Wow, it's a RAV4.
Well, Toyota actually started the SUV market. We read today how the SUV market has really exploded, and Toyota actually pioneered that market with the RAV4.
Okay, now you drive your product, which is great, so you'd be used to some of the features I'm talking to you about. The Toyota Connect, you can go onto the actual GPS system, and if you don't know the address, you can search your business, gives you the address, push start, and it takes you to the destination. I thought that was a great feature.
That's right. So we've seen the engineers really work on the motor, look at the fuel efficiencies, the CO2 output, but now we've seen them move into the cabin, and a lot of great technology features that we're used to with our phone and computers have now really been integrated into the car as well.
There are a couple of spots where you think you're on a busy road, it's hard to monitor, but the blind spot monitoring works perfectly.
So what we've seen with the engineering, I'm always amazed at the space that the cabins the engineers can create. The seating's a little bit lower, I've got a lot more headroom without compromising that passenger room. The other thing with your blind spot monitoring to go hand in hand with that is they've actually redesigned the pillar, so your peripheral vision is actually improved, and so you can really see everything around you.
Okay, now as I discover these features, I thought it was fair to say to you, what I might need is this car for a couple more months, the new ZoomMobile, and we'll let you know what we think of it. I'm going to keep a diary and keep updating people with the features that I find over the shows to come. What do you reckon, deal?
Sounds fantastic.
Done. Look at that. There you go. Now, if you want to get yourself a great bargain, make sure you go and see our friends at City Toyota. Go to citytoyota.net.au. Follow the links from ZoomTV. It's that simple.